Hi, this is Ray from Swim Canary Wharf. We're going to look at some clips of very common faults which I see day in and day out, which inhibit your front crawl speed. The first fault is leaning on the lead arm when you take a breath. You can see that my arm is very straight when I take a breath, and this causes a lumpy asymmetrical stroke and therefore inhibits your speed. The second is hand surfing, the hand going up to the surface of the water, which means the catch is virtually impossible to achieve and you end up slipping the water. Next is something that I call the curse of the claw, and this is when people start working on the catch, their power management is a little bit out and they end up with this clawing action, which we'll see more clearly from another angle in a moment. Finally, you can see a classic runner's kick from the knee with the quads and the hamstrings firing rather than the glutes. Now we're going to see a couple of clips where these faults have been corrected. Firstly, the flick kick from the glutes, very energy efficient for you triathletes out there. And when I swim back towards the camera, you'll see that I'm no longer leaning on my arm to breathe, I'm no longer hand surfing, I'm catching the water better, and you can see that flick kick in the background there. Okay, now we see a side-on angle, and these faults should be a lot easier for you to spot. Firstly, leaning on that arm as I breathe to the right, and you can see how lumpy that is. Now, after each of these faults, there's going to be a good swim through the screen, and you can see there I'm forming a catch as I breathe to the right, rather than leaning on that arm. And you can see the way the stroke is more continuous. So hand surfing, you can see how that restricts speed, and you can see how my elbow leads rather than getting over the stroke in a good catch. So once again, the extended hand is level with the rotated shoulder rather than up to the surface. The curse of the claw, you can see I'm snatching at the water from an extended position, causing the elbow to lead rather than getting over the water in a classic catch, and you can see that here. Triathletes often ask me, why should we work on our kick? Well, if you've got a chronic kick from the knee, your hips sink and the strain on the catch makes it impossible to achieve. You can see here, once the hips are up on the surface, the swimmer is able to move a long way per stroke. So you've seen the faults. Join me on GE's Facebook page over the next few weeks where I'll show you how to correct them.
British Triathlon, proudly partnered by GE. Imagination at work.